Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to cleanse this space to clear out all negative and lower vibrations placed in the white light of protection around us with this blue seal. We're going to be reading more, guys, out of my Setting Boundaries to Find Peace with Narcissistics and Codependents. And we are still on Chapter 1, the Overused Labels. And we are on the portion of types of a narcissist and what they do. States, something a lot of people struggle with is acknowledging that their partner, parent, or even their loved one is a narcissist. Very true, guys. Especially after they've done a lot of research on NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Even though they may identify with one or two traits, they simply refuse to believe that someone they love lacks empathy or is manipulative. This is mostly because narcissists are great at pretending. They're great at mimicking wherever you're at, they're at. They're great at exposing their trauma to get you to feel sorry for them. They're always playing the victim. Everything is everyone else's fault. Nothing is ever their fault. It's always your fault. It's not their fault. And they believe this. So it's believable. So to you, you start to believe it. This is mostly because narcissists are great at pretending, and they will pretend to be friendly, warm, loving, or generous, whatever it takes to keep you on the hook. There are various types of narcissists, and you may recognize someone you know as one of these subtypes. The first one is overt or obvious narcissist. This is somebody with grandiose narcissism or agendic narcissism. They fit the typical description of a narc. They are arrogant, confident, assertive, competitive, aggressive, and they always strive to be the center of attention. They are most likely selfish, overbearing, and stubborn, and they have an exaggerated sense of intelligence and capabilities. And really, they have low self-esteem, which is counteractive of all that. But that is where it stems from, is that low self-esteem within them. Number 2, the covert or the closet narcissist. Now, these are very difficult to detect because they hide it. They also can be vulnerable. Narcissists, because they don't fit the regular pattern of a typical narc. They are more passive-aggressive and can experience anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. They make them unable to receive criticism, and they would rather avoid the scenario than to be told off in general. They may not exhibit the typical trait of a narcissism, but they definitely possess the major narc characteristics. They seem like saints. They often associate with people that they admire. They also feel like they have constantly been victimized, and they are convinced that others are out to get them. They almost seem to feed off the empathy and the attention. So they're the person always telling their story. They always got a problem. Everyone's, again, they're the victim. And people really buy into this and believe it because I've been around it and I know it and I can identify it. And they generally don't like me as a result of it because they know I can see past that. As an empath, that is one of your gifts that you can really pick up on and that the rest of the world can't. And it's difficult because you're seeing it for what exactly it is, but the rest of the world is really buying into it. So it's and they can do this for 50 years. People can buy into it. Number 3, the toxic narcissist. This is the group of narcs that can be described as narcissism on steroids. They exist on the more severe end of the spectrum of toxicity and may exhibit other strongly negative traits like sadism, paranoia, and hostility. They have been described as the most dangerous type of narcissist because they will stop at nothing to achieve their goals, even if it hurts other people, physically, mentally, emotionally, or financially. Number 4, the communal narcissist. This is the type of narc is all about being good and fair to others. They often have a high moral standard, and they are quick to fight against what perceived as injustice. The big problem here is that these type of narcs are doing this for the social recognition and the power that comes with being a freedom fighter. Another obvious discrepancy is the fact that their behavior often does not match up to their ideals under close scrutiny. So as somebody who interviewed children for as a child forensic interviewer, a lot of people hide behind their religion. I can tell you that. And they do that purposely to portray it to the world that they are this perfect, outstanding citizen of, they're often part of the PTA. They're, they do whatever it takes for people to believe them, And I've seen that a lot when I was interviewing children for child abuse, because that is where they hide. It says, which of these narcissists have you encountered before? Take a moment to examine your various relationships and evaluate them all. So I'm going to leave that at that. But such great information. It's hard when you grow up thinking the world is this great place and, everybody has the same ideals and they're a good person just like you. So it's, when you start seeing the other side of it, it's good to actually understand it. It doesn't mean it's your place to judge it, because they were meant to experience that. This planet is a planet of duality, and maybe they were an empath in the previous life that got pushed over, and maybe God wanted them to find their power. You don't know the situation, so it's not our place to judge, but it is our place to at least know where people are coming from. So I love you all. Have a blessed day, and namaste.